Hello, my name is Ben Smith. Today I'm going to talk to you about moving your existing traditional WebSphere topology, application, and configuration to Bluemix as is with no modification. To start, I have DayTrader, a traditional WebSphere application deployed on a virtual machine that runs in my VMware infrastructure. DayTrader relies in part on a JDBC connection to a separate virtual machine that runs DB2, which is also in my VMware data center. Today, I'm going to lift and shift DayTrader, including its enterprise Java Beans, REST interface, and other components, into Bluemix, where it will run in the IBM Application Server on Cloud service and rely on an instance of the DB2 on Cloud service that I have provisioned for its JDBC connection. Here we can see my vCenter view of my data center, which contains both my DB2 virtual machine, which is already running, and my standalone WebSphere ND VM, which I will power on right now. After boot, I can log into the WebSphere Integration Solutions console, or admin console, and see the instance of the WebSphere app server that I already have running. DayTrader has a typical JEE architecture that contains JSPs and servlets, which provide the web front end. They use EJBs to perform trading operations. The state of the virtual market for DayTrader is maintained through message queues and other WebSphere provided services, including a JNDI resource to a DB2 backend. Now I'll install DayTrader into WebSphere. I've been in charge of deploying DayTrader for dev, test, and production for quite some time, so I've developed some WSAdmin scripts that help me rapidly configure its required services. In this instance, I configured the database to point at my DB2 virtual machine and provide its credentials accordingly. My scripts take care of the rest, creating JNDI resources for JMS services, EJB resources, and of course my data sources. All done, let's switch to the admin console and look at what the scripts did. DayTrader is installed successfully. To the admin console, it's a quick point and click to start up the app. Here's a brief demo of the running app. First, let's instantiate the schema within the DB2 database using a DDL. Then, we repopulate the database with a bunch of example data to simulate an active trading environment. Now we can log in as an example user and make a trade. Now I'll log into Bluemix to get my instance of the IBM Application Server on Cloud. I can find it under the Web and Application category. I can choose between Liberty Profile and a full profile instance. After I click Create, I have a provisioned virtual machine that is running and managed in Bluemix. I'm given the machine's IP, root password, private key, and the login credentials for the admin center. I can then click the link for the admin center and log in using my credentials, and everything starts to look very familiar. In the cloud, I no longer need to stand up a virtual machine to use DB2. I've created the Bluemix app Container Bridge to bind to my DB2 instance and obtain its credentials. Notice that this app doesn't even need to be running, so it costs me no billable hours on Bluemix. Here's my list of the connection information, including credentials for my Bluemix managed instance of DB2. I can use my existing WSAdmin scripts without modification to deploy to my IBM Application Server on Cloud instance. I'll just use the connection information I showed previously to set up the database connection. All my other parameters stay the same, and my scripts operate just as they did before. Once again, we can see the installed DayTrader in my IBM App Server on Cloud instance, and we simply click to start it up. And DayTrader operates just as it did before.